Welcome to another episode of Blended Views Unfiltered. This is DeAndre.
I want to switch up the order this time.
Hey, Bookies. It's me.
You know, yours truly, Big Nick.
A.K.A.
Nick.
You didn't even say your name. Talking about some it's me. Is that
They
your
know.
name?
They know who it is.
They know who you is.
They do. What is that noise?
I got an escape door. So whoever's, how was your weekend?
Weekend was swell.
Did you go to church, Sile?
No,
Why?
I didn't go to church.
Why?
I had never made a plan to go to church.
Wait, you need
So
a
I
plan to go to church?
Well, we planned to go everywhere.
No. You can make a decision to just get up and go.
Okay.
Did you work Sunday?
No,
So why didn't you go to church?
I stayed in my bed.
Did you attend church virtually?
I did not.
Why?
I did not make the decision to do so.
Why?
I don't know. There was no reason.
It's terrible.
One might say
One might say what?
that it's terrible.
A lot. How was your weekend?
Weekend was good. I mean, I can't say too much about Sile. I didn't make that decision either.
You decided to get drunk.
That was that night.
Did you go to church?
This must be the hot seat. They must be at condition this seat.
Did you go to church?
Who?
You.
No, I didn't.
Hold on. You over here talking to us like you was just front row at the Lord's house and you wasn't?
No, that's not what I said
Why
at
didn't
all.
you?
I just asked if you went.
Why didn't you
I wasn't
go?
judging or condemning.
Why didn't you go?
I didn't go because I decided to get up, make breakfast for my kids. We watched a movie. We danced around.
You guys kind of did that after church?
Well, then, yesterday was the day they went back with their moms. So just
You
decided
guys
to
couldn't
spend.
have did that after the church?
No, I decided to spend time with them before because then I had to work later on yesterday. So that's what I did.
You're the boss. You literally can work whenever you want to. So you guys couldn't have done that after
Yeah,
church?
but when I have a client that needs stuff done at a certain time every week, that's what I do.
Church is like max 2 hours.
Yeah.
Well,
You couldn't have taken 2
not the
hours out of your
African-American
morning?
church.
But again, I made a plan to go ahead and spend time with the kiddos.
I didn't know what church Sile had. That's 2 hours.
Her bed.
I join at least 3 hours nowadays.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, mine is like 2 or less, honestly.
Yeah, 2 is max.
I like that.
That's
person.
if the Lord is moving.
Yeah, I have to agree.
But that's what I like when the
We
Holy
be out by
Spirit is moving,
12:30.
like a mighty rushing wind.
When was the last time you felt that wind?
It was kind of windy today while I was working. I hate windy days.
Oh, man. Listen, I want to ask y'all a question. When's the last time that you guys have experienced a growth spurt?
I've been the same height since I was 16.
All right.
So it's been a while.
All right.
Over 10 years.
Yeah?
Yeah, actually 13 years.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy being short?
Short. I believe I'm average height.
How tall are you?
5'4".
You enjoy being short? When's the last time you experienced a growth spurt?
Well, I've been growing wide lately. I stopped growing height. I've been growing width. I would say I've been experiencing that
Spontaneous combustion is what you say? You about to?
No, all jokes aside, are we speaking in like a growth mindset and things of that nature?
Actually,
in life?
yes. So in life, love, or in business, or there's the absence of in some folks' lives, love. So like life and business for you.
I got love in my life. What the hell?
Well, all right. We'll put that back on the table.
Y'all don't love me?
Much love. Much love. Much love.
So when's the last time you guys have experienced a true growth spurt in life, love, and business? Or one of the three, two of the three, three of the three?
Man, I feel like I'm in a growth spurt. This year has been a growth spurt.
Yeah.
All of 2022. Yeah, I feel like a growth spurt, like you look at it like the gym, you got to stretch the muscles, tear the muscles up before they grow. So I feel like I'm in that stretching mode in my life. I'm definitely being stretched right now. Mentally, physically, everything. Emotionally. So I feel like on the other side of this year, I would definitely have grown from what the experience of 2022 has brought.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is this in a positive way, negative way? How has it affected your everyday living? This growth spurt that you've been experiencing.
Well, several ways. I think number one, I've learned to appreciate what I have and stop focusing on what we don't have.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a person say that was the first issue. I know we're not a biblical podcast, but we go back to the Bible, and that was the first issue that Adam and Eve had. Is they focused on, they had every tree in the garden, but what really brought them down was focus on the one thing that they didn't have. So I've really this year's been trying to focus on everything that we have and not focus on the little bit of things that we are lacking, because I think that's a lot of people go through that, and they might have a good life, but they focus on the one area. Like you have 90% of everything is good, and the one area is what's depressing your whole life.
Yeah.
So I've been really trying to focus on what we have and trying to build. I feel like I've been being tested emotionally. So like I said, on the other side of this, I have a testimony. But I think that's long-winded. What was your original question again?
Oh God.
When's the last time that you
No. I mean, I'm sorry.
experienced a growth spurt?
Yeah, I mean, you had one more.
I asked how has that affected?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think that is creating a stronger version of myself.
Okay.
I think that I'm growing stronger mentally. I feel like once you get through that dark path or that dark path that you go through, not saying you're never going to go through it again, but I think that you're more equipped to deal with the next one that go around. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm equipping myself to deal with what's coming, was being thrown at me.
Yeah. What about you, Sile?
Well, I know I hit mine or a growth kind of mark when I noticed that I started like processing my emotions differently, or like expressing my emotions differently, opposed to like me. I used to like just like feel like if I'm the loudest one talking, like in an argument or something, like you're hearing me, I'm getting my stuff across. I really don't care to do that anymore. I also don't care to like tell my side of the story about stuff. I don't care. I don't care. I also kind of let go of the mindset of like closure too, and just like getting the mindset of people know what they do.
Yeah.
And you gotta let them like, you know what you did. There's no point in us having no type of closure or none of that. You know what you did. Wish you will. But you gotta stay over there though.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta kick it over there. That's the side you chose. You gotta stay over there. It's actually kind of makes stuff a little easier, because I always used to be one that like kind of cared. Like, well, no, I don't want this to happen. I don't give a fuck. I don't. Because it's like that take a lot out of you, like hearing about stuff like that. And then it's like people formulate their own opinions and twist stuff up anyway. So it's just like, I don't care about telling my side of the story. I don't care about getting closure. And, yeah, God bless you.
Yeah.
Peace out.
That's good stuff.
What about you, girlfriend?
Just a host.
I don't give a damn. Last time you had a growth spurt.
Man, I have to say mine was probably toward the end of summer, coming into the fall. I internalized a lot of things. So I got to the point where it was like, you know what, let me stop taking some things so personal. And, we all hear the phrase of just accepting people where they are. Well, I've just learned to just accept people where they at. Like a lot of times people do and say things to you or towards you, and it's really just a reflection on where they're at in life. It has no bearing on you at all. You just happen to be on the end of the stick that may be getting something done to, or maybe it could be like a character attack. It could be anything. No matter what it is, though, I just learned just shrug it off, because if you don't, you end up in a real big hole, a super dark place. You could lash out, and lashing out don't get you nowhere at all. Retaliating gets you absolutely nowhere. So I've just learned that some people's perception of me, I'll say me and some like, or just in general, some people's perception of you, and along with things that have happened to them and things they may have dealt with other people, that's what they're reacting to you about. A lot of times it has absolutely nothing to do with who you are and where you are in life. It has everything to do with where they stopped dealing with you at. Because even then, even if it wasn't that bad of a place, just where they were at, like individually, that place could be like real dark for them. And they just acted a certain kind of way and they just stayed there with you and only you. So I've just learned just accept people for where they're at, especially if it has no effect on my everyday life at all. So that would have to be my growth spurt.
You know, another one I realized that I hit is when I started like prioritizing like me and my peace over like anything. And my biggest one was like with my family, because I always felt like I had to be like, you know, swoop in and rectify everything. Now it's just like, y'all got it, y'all figure it out, call me when y'all done. I don't want to deal with this today. Y'all arguing or y'all fighting, y'all let me know when y'all done. Like, I just don't, because it drained me so much, and I always felt the need to like be involved and fix it and try to like whatever. But now it's like, nope, not today. And I don't feel bad about it, like at all. I don't care who it is. I don't feel bad, because why do I have to eat that?
Yeah.
Why do I have to take that on? I'm having a great day. I don't want that. And it's no like disrespect, or it's no type of anything. It's just like, I don't want that on me today. So you can have it maybe tomorrow, but probably not. Yeah, I don't want that. So that's when I noticed like significantly that I actually got pretty good at.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
So what about the, do you guys think that in the growth process, when you have a growth spurt, growth spurts happen like quick? It's like it comes out of nowhere, right? So sometimes you have to even adjust to your growth, right? So in that process of you trying to adjust to your own growth, the ones closest to you, you just elaborated a little bit on that subject, but like the ones closest to you are usually the ones who either test you or they're also affected by your growth as well. Have you guys seen any either backlash or backlash from those closest to you? Or on the other side, have you actually seen someone like happy for you? Happy, like they recognize the growth, they acknowledged it, the growth, they've shared it with you, how proud they are, or whether it's verbally or non-verbally.
My sister does a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. With like vocalizing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like, you know, my mom and stuff sees it, but my sister does like a really good job of like telling me, hey, I'm proud of you. Like, you found yourself. I'm proud of you.
I feel like I get a lot of I've gotten a lot of backlash on the process of the growth.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when I really start ducking off and really focusing on myself, I start getting a lot of backlash. Yeah, I got a lot of backlash now. People look at me like I don't come around to a lot of stuff, but I really do a lot of like, I got to get a lot of stuff done for myself. And it's like, especially in business, man, a lot of what people don't understand is that your business is going to thrive or it's going to die based on your activity or what you do in the beginning. And a lot of times, a lot of business takes a significant amount of time to get off the ground. Because when you start, it's just you and you. You ain't got a lot of investors that's going to pitch in all this money to hire all these different people. From the ground up, you got to put in that legwork. And people that work a 9 to 5 don't understand that work, that struggle. So it's like people, sometimes I could be what's the term, hermit?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I could be a hermit. I don't come around, but I'm always trying to better myself and get my situation out. And I think that a lot of people don't understand that. So I do get a lot of backlash for just not being around. But I'm a believer where it's like you at some point in your life, you have to kind of just, you know, go into work mode and just disappear and focus on yourself and, you know, let the outside world be the outside world. And a lot of people are not going to understand it. A lot of people are going to feel some type of way. But, you know, like I said, on the other side of that, you'll be, you know, pushing in the right direction.
That's good stuff. You, through your process, do you guys find that a lot of the things that you talk about with your family and friends now become like invaluable to where you are?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys do?
I don't know. I try to keep like a judgment-free mindset, because I do find myself actually like rather often now, like certain stuff just irritates me, and it's not like, well, I'm annoyed with you. It's just like the choices that you're making, the mindset that you still have. It's just like you thought that way or you felt that way 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here? Why aren't you making any type of progress? Whether it's like goal-wise, professional, relationship-wise, like, why do you still think this way and think that like this is okay? But I just try to keep like I provide advice when asked, and then when not asked, I just mind my black ass business and go elsewhere, because I don't want to. Because at one point in time, I'm sure I irritated somebody.
Yeah.
I wasn't where I feel like I am now, or I hadn't, grown as much as I feel like I have now. So everybody grows at their own pace. So I do try to keep like a judgment free.
Yeah.
Maybe you just haven't reached it yet. I hope it's soon, because it's been quite some time. But that's what kind of like, I do get irritated. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. I might need help in that area, because I got a tolerance level. The older I grow, and the more I grow, as far as like you said, like your growth spurt, my tolerance level for the dumb stupidity or the lack of maturity, and that it's like it's so thin, and I don't say too much, or I don't know. It's like when I'm growing, like let's just say like I got married, and then my other friends, it's like there's a separation there, because it's like the conversations ain't the same no more. The activity ain't the same no more, where y'all can just think for yourself and do for yourself. I'm married now. I can't do that type of stuff. And yeah, there was a big separation from my everyday people, because it was like, man, we live two different lives now. And then we look on a professional, like I was saying, professional level and goal level. The older you get, where you feel like, man, we should be moving in a certain direction, and y'all still talking that same talk, that stuff get old to me, man. Like the conversation should change. Your mind should change. We shouldn't still be talking about the same thing that we used to talk about 5 years ago. Like we need to be trying to better ourselves and better our situations, and grow as people, as men and women and individuals or professionals. But if we're like, I get to a point where it's like, people that used to be around, y'all in the same place, I got to keep it moving. Because it's like, sometimes I feel like I'm on a mission, and some people like, I feel like people are around you for seasons. And it's like, sometimes I feel like, man, it's a season. I still love people. But sometimes when I elevate, I feel like, man, my season of being around you all the time, it ain't there no more, And like the conversations ain't there no more. So people I used to talk to on a daily basis, we probably talk maybe once or every other week or something like that. Because it's like, I don't know, it's like the conversation ain't the same no more. I feel like people should always be growing. I heard Tony Robbins talk about like happiness is really a state of how much you're progressing in your life. Most people ain't happy in their life because they're not moving anywhere. You're not doing anything. So it's like, I get tired of having those conversations. Like I said, I might need help with that, because I do sometimes, being like I'm so, like my tolerance level is so low, I don't talk to people. Some people I look at, man, like, oh man, this cat just want to talk the same talk, man. I ain't about to answer this phone. Man, but I don't know.
Do you think that maybe having multiple conversations with this individual, even if he or she is talking the same talk, that maybe there will be something that you say, because you go through growth spurts and you do challenge yourself, push yourself. Maybe there'll be something at some point through one of these conversations that will strike a nerve with this individual. Maybe that's why this person probably only picks up the phone to call you.
I always hope so. I try to. Because I'm excited when I learn something new. Dre, I'm gonna learn. I'm the type of person where I'm addicted to information. When I do learn something, I am excited. Yo, check this out. I just read this book, or I just learned this, or I just did that. And you can tell who it really hit and who's listening, opposed to people that don't really. Okay, that's all cool, man. But let me talk about these girls, or I done did this, or we done went to this spot. Like, okay, man, I ain't really on that no more, bro. So I don't know. I try to.
You know what I found, like, probably in the last 4 or 5 days, just through multiple conversations. It was a guy at the gym I was talking to, and he was like, we was talking about women. It was a group of us, and he was like, man, I want the problems that all you guys have. I don't really like get women like that. He was like, Yeah, bro, you don't want these issues, man, right? And then you talk to somebody else, and they're like, like I'm mad that I'm in the space that I'm in now. I wish I was here. I wish I was there. It's like multiple conversations of hearing all of that stuff, and I'm like, listen, and I got to go back to things that we hear, like Coach K say, and other things, and then just through life lessons where you just got to master like who you are and what level you are on. Like whatever level you're on, whatever space you're in, you just got to master that space, master who you are and where you are. That way you're prepared for what's next to come, because everybody can't handle everyone else's blessings. Like some people wish to be somewhere that somebody else is, but if you had what they had, you fumble the ball every time. Somebody want the women, you want the women, but you probably fumble these women every single time. You know what I mean? Like you're probably just not built for that lifestyle or that life or that house, that car, that job. You got to do more growing, more maturing. You just got to master the level that you're on before you can actually like graduate to the next level.
Bro, I had to learn that too. It's like I heard somebody say your banking account, where you are financially, is a direct correlation of who you are. Mm-hmm. It's like if you want that to go, like your business, your banking account, whatever your financial situation is a reflection of who you are as a person. So if you want to go up, you gotta rise in who you are, your knowledge, your expertise, the way you handle money, the way you manage it. Like you just said, like you might not be ready for what you want, because what that person has, they had to develop into a person to have that. Mm-hmm. It's like I hear people all the time. Everybody want to be a business owner, and they look at people. Or somebody was telling me like, man, you get to make your own schedule. I'm like, man, a lot of stress come with that, man. It ain't just like you can, like Sile said, oh, you the boss, you can make your own schedule. It ain't always that simple. You can, but it ain't always as simple. It's
always a price to pay.
Sometimes I look at people like I'm jealous of people that only got a set schedule.
Yeah, because they got all the freedom in the world.
Yes,
they got a safety net. I love saying that. They got like you got a cushion, you got a safety net to rest peacefully on all the time.
I swear to God.
Whereas the rest of us, well, not rest of us, those who choose daily to be a business owner, entrepreneur, or whatever,
you really have no time clock.
Yeah, you got to get up every day like the rent due today, because you may not have a successful day or week or month.
So many times, I swear to goodness, I envy people sometimes that work 9 to 5, because it's like you can clock out at 5 and be done. I clock out, or I don't even clock out. I be done. Now I'm sitting at the table eating dinner. Like, I got these books to do. Oh, I gotta go over this. I gotta get the schedule together. It's like it never stops.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then we ain't even talking about the mentally never stop, because you constantly thinking about your business when it's in other people's hands.
But your why keeps you going, though. So a lot of people will probably look at this and be like, y'all complaining, or you complaining. It's like, it's not complaining. It's just, it's more realistic, because nobody really, and we say it often, a lot of people don't talk about the other side of owning your own business. It's always just.
Nobody ever talk about the other side of anything.
That's true. It's always just the good.
No, nobody
It's
ever.
always the highlight reel. It's always the good, the good, the good, the good. And then once everybody else is dealing with the bad, it's like, what do I do? Now everybody's just kind of sitting there looking like a llama. So it's like.
There's two sides to everything.
Looking like a llama. I mean, but there's a side to it. Like you go struggle, you go hit some bumps in the road. It ain't gonna be too pretty all the time. Matter of fact, you will experience more struggle. That's why another conversation I was in. They was talking about this rich dude. It's like, listen, you go talk to this rich guy all you want to. I guarantee you, he has experienced more failure than he has experienced success.
Yeah.
So if you're like afraid of failing, stay where you at. You don't, and everything that you say you want, you really don't want, because you are afraid to fail. And it's going to happen. It ain't like, oh, you may fail. Nah, joker. You go fail.
You actually failed to succeed.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, we got a new.
I was hiccuping.
Oh.
No, I was hiccuping.
Yeah.
I thought she was ready to pounce on you.
No, I was hiccuping.
Oh. That's fun. I had a story to tell. When you said like you said the dude was like, man, I want them problems. Man, I had an epiphany last week actually. And so I always wish that I got better equipment. So man, I wish that I had what that dude have, or sometimes I wish I had a better setup as far as like lawn service stuff. Man, I went to the dump site to dump, we doing leaves and stuff. I went to go dump, and it was a dude, and he had a raggedy setup. And he was like, hey man, I'll trade you setups. I said, nah, man. I forgot what I said. I made a joke to him. As I was pulling out, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, there's only somebody that wishes they was in your position. How bad your position is, you know, I got bad vision.
Says love yours.
Oh, nice. So you believe in what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's no, but there forever.
Somebody always wants what you have. So it's like I had to tell Shamar that it's like we got to stop complaining because there's somebody out there that wish they had your problems. Yeah. So it's like enjoy where you at, love where you at. You know, I'm not saying stay where you at, but like I said in the beginning, I had to learn to say, you know what, I'm in a very happy space where I am if I don't focus on what I don't have. Because it's like, for instance, like we just moved. You know, long ago when I was in that apartment, I was telling myself I wish I had, you know, the room to have my little office. I got my little office. You know how many times I was sitting there saying, man, when I get my office, I'm going to get me a little treadmill and stuff to go in there so when I wake up, somebody blessed us with it. So it's like, even though I'm in a growth, it's like, just love where you at. Somebody's still wishing that they was in your position.
Yep.
So it's like you don't have to look at. I think the first thing that most people feel is you wake up and you compare yourself to somebody else. Mm-hmm. Stop comparing yourself to somebody else. I had to tell Shamar that like get off of social media looking at what everybody else got because it's gonna make you not appreciate what you have.
Yeah.
Like you just got if you have more gratitude, I can guarantee if people will learn to be more grateful what they have and stop comparing yourself, there will be so much. Like less. Actually, let me not say it because people have been going at my neck for some of the stuff I've been saying. I think the world would be a little happier.
No, you're right though. The story of the delivery driver, right?
Somebody must have had the syrup right in this spot.
Delivery driver pulls up to this home, beautiful home, a home that she's always dreamed of, right? Owner comes to the door, gets their possessions, and says, you have a really beautiful home. I've always dreamed of a home like this. You got to be the luckiest woman in the world. And without hesitation, there's an older lady. She says, well, I have been fortunate and I've been blessed. Just make sure that when and or if you ever get a home like this, be sure that who you get it with actually loves you. She shuts the door.
So while she had a beautiful house, she's miserable.
Miserable. Because the person that she had the home with, not even in love, doesn't even love her. So what good is it to achieve everything and that you only to be in a situation that you're really not truly happy, which goes to show that you can have all the possessions in the world. At the end of the day, when you lay that head down, you're still not happy. Mm-hmm. You know, so definitely appreciate where you are. And once you master that, then everything else will begin to come to you. But you have to work at it for sure. So we talk about growth, the growth spurts. We talk about all these things. Can we talk about what stunts our growth? Has anything hindered or stunted the growth? Because you have growth spurt is something that happens quick and it's like out of nowhere, right? So out of this whole year so far, though, has there been anything to stunt your growth prior to the growth spurt or maybe even afterwards? Because maybe your growth, you thought it would be something that happened like continuously, but, you know, it came to an end because of something else. Like how many times do we encounter the situations or the people that actually stunt our growth?
Mine is procrastination. I'm a big procrastinator. Oh, God. And that's even in like work, like when it comes to my notes. And that's just a thing that I always like, I'm like, I know I got to do these notes.
What kind of notes?
We have to do case notes. Like after our sessions, it's kind of like detail what happened during the session. But like they're due at a certain time. But the second that she gave me leeway, and I know they really wasn't due yet, oh, you done messed up, big fella. You done messed up. And I know that like, I kind of look at that as like a bigger picture because that does say something about me. Why, if you know that she said this was due then, why are you doing this? Then you find yourself at a crunch having 15 notes. And now you're like, no, don't talk to me. I got to do my notes. No, it isn't. I got to do my notes. And that's something that like I really am working on because that's a thing for me. Mm-hmm. And it's just like something as small as my notes at work. Siobhan, do your fucking notes. Like, that's what I be telling them. Like, do your notes. What are you doing?
Is it easy?
What, the notes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just me detailing what happened during the session. I'm there. I know exactly what happened. It's just actually sitting down and doing it because I don't want to do it.
And that's after the fact. Can you do it during, like, while your day is going on? Like, as
they don't
you
really
go?
Want us to because our focus is supposed to be, like, on the kids and be, like, in the session. So like we have time afterwards to do it, but like I'll find myself dicking around. Like,
On TikTok.
It gotta be typed out or something.
now, like our printer been down for 2.5 weeks, so not everything handwritten. That's pissing me off even more.
I was about to say, this is app called otter.io.
I have a lap. Listen, I have all the means to do it. It's
That's
me.
basically you just speak into it and it types
Listen,
stuff out.
I can speak it to my laptop.
Oh, you got the handy dandy high
The
tech.
thing flips backwards and turns into a tablet. It's not that. It's
Oh,
me.
you got one of those.
Whatever.
Give it back.
No.
It's like
But yeah, mine is definitely procrastination. I pray about it too. Like, Lord, please lift this procrastination spirit up off me because it's ghetto. Like, it's real ghetto. That's mine. What's yours, big fella?
procrastination. It's like, no. Well, yes, actually it is. But my biggest issue, the thing that I love is starting to be my hindrance. So I've become a reader lately. I love reading, but it's hindering my growth. Because I read. If I'm reading a lot, I'm not implementing a lot, if that makes sense. So it's like I had to learn. So another reason why this year has been a really growth spurt for me, I don't know, I spoke about this. I joined a mastermind. I invested in a mastermind to be around a group of good people that I'm around. We get on Zoom. We're together probably once a week and we're in a community. And I'm learning, like, it keeps me uncomfortable because I'm the low man on the totem pole. And I've never been the low man on the totem pole. Even in sports and stuff like that, I never was always the best one on the team, but I was always a captain. I was always, since I'm little league all the way to high school, I've always been a leader on the team. I've never been the low man on the totem. This is the first time in my life where I feel uncomfortable being around some high achieving people. And one thing I had to learn, I had to tell myself is that, like, I was reading a lot. Like, I was knocking out like a book a week, and it felt so good to be doing all this stuff. And I'm like, hold up, man, Nick, I feel really dumb because I got a lot of knowledge. I ain't doing nothing with it. Ain't nothing worse than knowing something and not doing it. It's like, dude, you reading all these books on marketing and you learning so much. You probably know more than the next person, but why ain't you doing none of this stuff? I'm like, you're reading too much. You need to stop, cut back from the learning, and start doing more implementing. So what hindered my growth spurt is trying to go super duper fast on learning, and then I cut back on that learning just to start implementing. So I haven't read that many books this year, but I've been trying to, what I do read, I'm like super duper trying to implement every part of that. So like my love for learning so can be a hindrance for my implementation and my growth. So that's my issue. It was my issue. I'm kind of growing out of that.
Nice. I think for me, I found myself, like, during my slow periods of work, months, as busy now, I found myself in a lot of low level conversations. I'll have to say that's what stunted my growth. It was a couple weeks ago. I was in church. You don't know what that is. And Pastor Maceo had brought that up and started talking about low level conversation. I was like, man, that's one of my issues right now. Like, I'll be involved in too many low level conversations, and the more I begin to evaluate that, like when I would end up in them, like over the course of the last couple of weeks, like all I do is like laugh or hurry up and get the heck off the phone now, because it's just like, yep, like I know it, but I would just entertain it way too doggone much, and before I know it, it's just like an hour then went by, or 2 hours went by, or like, I don't know, now my focus then went way over here somewhere. I was just like, man, this is way too...
texting me back.
You know what it is? It's just, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm so used to like functioning at a certain pace, and the more that you kind of function that way, you have to be like around people like that, or be involved in things like that. Because if not, we'd have had that then conversation. You begin to now take form of what you listen to and what you take part in. So being a part of these low level conversations is like, I'm entertaining so much. Like, I don't want to get to the point where like I'm about to start the conversation now. Like I'm already answering the phone calls and all. Like I just shouldn't. Let me remove myself now. So now I just got to like find I got to step back, cut back, and then just reevaluate where I place my conversation at, because I can't have low level conversations continuously like that. Maybe I can entertain a couple of them here and there, but consistently, on a consistent basis, I can't entertain low level conversations. And for people, before they low level conversations, anything that adds absolutely no freaking value to your life,
yes,
your love, your business, your anything, like, that's a low level conversation. Like, it has no merit. Like, you can BS with your friends and do all that, but if you just throughout the day just casually just having if it ain't taking you nowhere, it ain't, like, it's a low level conversation, and it's pointless. Folk that ain't talking, as you said, folk that ain't talking the same talk you talking, folk that obviously are not on the same level, which that is not a bad thing. Sometimes you have to talk to people who are not on your level to help them up, but people who ain't trying to be helped, people who ain't looking for guidance, people who just extremely comfortable, they got their bed made on that level, they got their home, like, let them be. And you shouldn't be dragged down by having that low level conversation either.
Let me ask y'all this. It's funny that you said that, because I was thinking, I heard a podcast one time, and they was talking about the phone calls that you have and the conversations. Is it a deposit into your life or a withdrawal? And so I would love to bring that question, because I'd ask myself that. If you was to put a percentage on your phone calls and your conversation through the day, what is the percentage of deposits made into your life or withdrawals made from your life?
Oh, gosh.
Let's ask you that, Sal.
Good question.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I'll answer mine next week, because I want to sit in there.
Oh, you'll answer yours now.
You can't tell me what to do. I'm not your wife.
You answer yours now.
Sorry, I'll answer the question right now. Jeez.
You
take a
thought
guess.
That you was coming in and was gonna do some shit.
If you had to take it,
okay, let's see. My phone calls today. Just phone calls or like text, any interaction?
Conversations. Okay. Why you think, Jay? Let's ask you.
No, come on. Pressure. Because you have to think fast.
What's the button?
Let's go.
I was thinking about the conversations I had today. I don't think I had too many deposits today.
Today's Monday. This weekend.
That's on an average.
On average, yeah, just average.
And you don't even have to put it. Is it more? You think you talk to people more that's taken away from you, or you talk to more people that's putting into your life?
Mine is withdrawals for sure.
Mine is withdrawals.
Mine is withdrawals too.
Yeah, mine is withdrawals. I do have deposits, but they don't equal. Like, they don't measure out.
Yeah.
Then I think the next thing that we got to look at ourselves is like, oh, maybe do we got to change the people we talking to?
I would say yes. That's why I said them low level conversations are like, it's draining, and you don't realize it at first. And then you sit back and you think, like, the conversation that I just had, whether it was 10 minutes or an hour, like, what good is that doing me with my day?
Bro.
Like, because you'll pull up anywhere, right? And you'll sit there, depending on the context of the conversation, you'll sit there knowing you got to go in somewhere and do something. You'll sit there and finish out that conversation. But how much further did that put you behind from what you were supposed to be doing, where you're supposed to be going? So, yeah, it's way more withdrawals.
Bro, I'm starting to learn too. My one man, my dude, his name is Ben. Actually, he's my business partner. But this joker would not pick up the phone. If I call him, he got a whole basically routine of getting himself together during the day. He will not pick up the phone until maybe like 9 o'clock. But Ben said he's like, I got my meditation, I got my breathing, I got my working out. He's like, before I hear anything, any noise from the outside world, I got to take care of myself. But how many people we know, like, the first thing you do on your way to work, have a negative conversation.
Mm-hmm. That
negative conversation subconsciously made it a negative day.
You know what one of my biggest pet peeves is?
I wasn't done. I'm just joking. She always getting me. I got to get her. I'm just joking. Go ahead.
Like, my phone ring, I'm like, hello. So blah, 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 blah. Oh.
It'll ruin your day, man.
Like, it instantly pisses me off, because why would you never even, you could at least pretend to butter me up. Like, hey, how's your day? I know you probably don't care, but don't ever just start spitting stuff at me. All I said was hello.
Now, yeah, that makes, if I call somebody, even when I call, hey, yo, Joe, you got a second? I got to chit chat real quick.
Or if it's a text and you don't like greet me first.
Yes, can you
like
see?
A hey, honey, or like a good morning or something. Don't
good
just
morning. You got a second real quick? I got to talk to you.
Yes, that, oh my goodness, that makes me so mad, and I've caught myself doing it. I'll go back like, that was so ghetto of me. Good morning. That it pisses me off because like, who raised you? You didn't even give me time to prep for what you're about to lay on me. Pretend to care about how I'm feeling, or pretend to ask me how my day was. Hello, blah, 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 blah. Oh God, wait a minute.
But like, we have way too many low level conversations.
Yeah,
and I think that's the different. Like when you really start to get around people, that's like one of the best things that happened to me this year is my growth is being in that mastermind. When I met the type of people that I met, these people, you won't catch these people just gossiping. The main dude, which is his name is Joe. Joe has been my mentor before he's been my mentor. This is a dude I've been following for years. Joe, I have yet to have a response back from Joe within a day. This man, you will not catch this man on the first day. You call him, you text him, you email him. I'll be happy if I hear back from Joe at the end of the day. But he is getting to it. Like these people, you call, like if we had a relationship with Coach K, you think if we text, we're not getting. He'd tell his people, text me. I probably ain't gonna text you back, but text me.
I got it. Yeah, he'd be like, I got it.
But these type of people, they ain't got time. Like I had to have a conversation with my wife because like she'll sit there and y'all girls, y'all had these conversations. They go back. I'm like, shoot, you just had an hour-long conversation about nothing. And it's like we can't get that hour back. Like time is scarce. And it's like when you really look at these days, like you just said, that we're talking to our friends and we're trying to make sure this friend is good, and we're trying to make sure this friend is good, and we're pouring out, our cup is pouring dry, and we have no friends to pour back into us.
Yeah.
We wonder why we sitting somewhere depressed and don't know why, because we've been giving ourselves to everybody, and we don't have people around us that's making deposits in our lives. Like how many times people text y'all, like, yo, I'm just checking on y'all, how you doing? Or what you got going on. Oh man, that's sweet. I just wanted to text you, seeing the podcast, seeing what you got going on, Sal, and that's sweet. Blessings to what you got going on. Like we don't get that many deposits into our lives, but when we really examine, like Dre just said, and I'm actually talking to myself here because this is like a wake-up call, we need to stop having these low-level conversations with people, and it's like wasting our time.
Yeah, it ain't getting you nowhere.
Man.
So, Sayo, I can't talk to you no more.
Yes, we done texting.
We don't text.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Just stop coming to the podcast. No, I'm just messing around.
Let me ask y'all a question, all jokes aside. Would y'all be willing to cut a friend out of y'all life?
Yes.
For the growth?
Yes. Cut friends or family off for growth.
Oh,
because
I'm talking about a close friend.
Yes.
Like an everyday friend.
Yes. Listen, where I'm going, it may not require me having that many friends. Yeah. And where I'm going, you may not be able to come with me because you'll be a distractor. I can have a distraction. You know what I mean? Because maybe you may be my Achilles heel. So something may happen. When I first started business, I had a lot of people fall off, and not because like something happened. It's just my focus was so like I was elsewhere. I like my eyes was on the prize. It was straight tunnel vision. So a lot of times, well, not a lot of times. It had been like maybe a year or so when I had start picking up the phone calls and start talking to it. Like it was just awkward for me. I felt out of place and weird in those conversations. Going somewhere, it was just like, yeah, I mean, I kind of got other things or better things to do because, it's just not the same. I just can't sit around and BS. And then the conversation that everybody was having, I was like, I can't have these conversations. I can't be around here because now I just feel awkward. I feel super out of place and can't do it. So yes, I would definitely cut somebody off
real quick
because of that.
A couple of things you just said that's spot on. Number one is that, well, you didn't say this, but I was thinking about this. A lot of times your closest people might fall off by themselves.
Yes.
Your growth, they might fall off.
Yeah.
Another thing you said that's spot on. You're growing when you're somewhere and in the back of your head is I could be doing something else. I could really be like, there's so many times where it's like before it would be fun. And in my head, like I could be working on this business. Yeah. I could be making these phone calls. I could be pushing, getting this needle moving. But like a lot of times, like I said, your growth is going to make them fall off. Though.
Yeah. Automatically. And it's not a bad thing either. So it's not like you're missing out or they're missing out. And you'll be shocked at how many friends and family will be like, I fell back because I seen you moving a certain way and I did not want to be a hindrance to you. Because you'll have people that say that. I didn't want to hold you back. I didn't want to be no weight. So I seen you moving. I'm proud of you. I'm rooting for you. you win, we all win. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to be. So you'll have people that automatically fall off both ways. Like they're not thinking about it. Others are thinking about it, and some may just hate you or learn to hate you just because. But who cares? Because you ain't even thinking about that no more.
I would love to hear from you with your new business endeavor. Are you willing to drop off close friends for your
I feel
growth?
it happening now, and I don't even think because I haven't announced like my plans and stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like
I'm sorry about that.
I'm not.
No, I said I'm sorry. I just said that.
No, it's fine.
I'm just joking.
I've never been the type of like. I like to announce it like when I do it. I don't like to really like broadcast it too much because you never know. Like that could be falling on deaf ears. That could be falling on ears of people like that. You excited for some stuff, or you would be excited for them, and they praying on your downfall, literally. So I don't know, but I feel it happening now, and honestly, I'm not sad about it. Like I'm not. It'll be like a dang. You was my dog at one point in time. Oh well. Like that's where I am now, and I've noticed that. And I was even sitting over here like. In my head when you started talking about it, like, dang, like, this person that fell off, that person that fell off. I don't talk to this person no more. I don't kick it with that person no more. And it ain't like no beef. It ain't like, no, we had this huge blow up. It's just like either I feel like, you know, I'm not where I was before, and either the way that your mindset is or the actions that you do, like, I don't feel like I agree with no more. And it's not a judgment. That's you. By all means, do you, boo-boo. But it just don't like, and I say it all the time, that don't agree with my soul or my spirit. And it just don't no more. And I'm not upset about it at all. And these is people who like, I've been friends or involved with for years. And I like noticed like, with literally as you was sitting talking like, dang, like, I talked to this person in how long? And then last encounter we had, I found myself like this some bullshit. Like I never noticed how much of a narcissist you are or how much of a person you make this all about you type of thing. And it's like I don't care to, as like before I would just make excuses for it. Like, oh, that's just how I don't care to be around it. It's like, that's cool. Like, I hope you win at everything it is you want to do, but you just got to do it over there.
Yeah.
Like over there. Like they say, I still want you to eat, but just not at my table.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to be at your table because it ain't even always about me. I still want you to eat, but I don't want to be at your table while you eating. So it's just, I mean, it is what it is. And like, everybody can't go where you going. They say that all the time, and I'm a firm believer in that. Like, everybody can't go. If you started with the same people, it's gonna be a few people that you started with that you take it. But 9 times out of 10, you ain't making it with half the people that you started with.
Yep.
And like that's like either a sad reality or it's like a true real reality. But at the end of the day, it's a reality. So,
you know, the funny thing is too, I know people that try to do that stuff like, you know, this my homie, this my girl, this my niggas for life, whatever. And then be the same people that you ain't going nowhere because you ain't willing to drop off something to go up. Like, I had to get to a place, I don't know if I ever told this story. I remember one year, I can't remember, it was 2019, 2018. One of them years, it was at the end of the year. And I sat back, you know, at the end of the year, you kind of evaluate the year. How was this year? I sat back like, this year was trash, you know what I'm saying? My banking account still looked the same. My credit score still looked the same. That scale still looked the same. like you ever sit back like, man, what was positive? You know what I'm saying? Like, at least what's the measurables?
Yeah.
Like, you know the measurables, what that money looking like, what that body looking like. Everything was looking trash at the end. And so I had to evaluate, like, cause
it's killing me.
that scale, the same. The scale ain't moved. That scale stuck. I thought it was broke. I broke it. It's like, no. Damn, scale ain't moving. But no, what I was saying, so I was always the dude where I was there for everybody. Oh, somebody moving, I got you. I got the truck. Oh, you know what I'm saying, Nick, you trying to come through? I'm there, bro. I'm that dude that was everywhere. And I got to the point, y'all laugh at me now. I got to the point like, if I don't feel like going nowhere, I don't care no more, because I'm there for everybody else. And at the end of the year, when me and my wife is sitting together and we evaluating our lives, all of y'all people that I've been helping or I've been there and I've been doing all this for, y'all ain't there. Y'all ain't there when, you know, stuff is low, when you know what I'm saying, you behind on stuff, or, you know, things is due, or you ain't happy because you can't go here or you can't do this. So I start saying, man, forget this, man. Like, you know, if I'm gonna go help somebody, it's because I want to. I don't feel obligated to, and this might sound bad, I don't feel obligated to nobody but my wife. Like, I will tell anybody, no, if I don't feel like it, if it's cutting into me doing me, or me trying to, get myself to the next level, I don't care anymore. Like I had to get to a point where it's like, you might need my help to move. If I can't do it, I will not. I'm not rearranging my life so that I can make your life better. And no more. Because I just always felt like I was always that guy for everybody. But I'm not saying I don't got friends there. But then it's like, okay, at the end of the day, it's just you. It's just you. When you come home and everything is due and all the bills is due, and you got to be able to fend for yourself and for your kids, or so you by your, no disrespect, it's just you right now. What I'm saying, which is a good place. But when you sitting down, you got people that's like responsible for. Where all them people at that I've been helping? Where all them people? I can't even call you if I needed some money to borrow. But I'm up here drop at a drop of a hat, Nick there to help anybody. I'm always the dependable friend.
Mm-hmm.
I said, not that I ain't trying to be dependable, but like people ain't got the same access to me like they used to.
Yeah.
And I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel bad that, oh, y'all, we about to go out. You trying to come through? No. Because I got to get up and get to it. I can't sit around here and go kick it with y'all and I'm sleeping late and I messed up my whole day the next day.
Yeah.
No, I got to go home, be in bed at a good time. Y'all laugh at me all the time, but I'm getting to it the next day. I got to get to it the next day. So it's like I stopped being the most accessible person. I had to stop that. Like, people don't get to me all the time. Like, I'll text you when I text you. I'll call you when I call you. But being that dude that's always available had to stop. Period.
It's draining.
It is. I always feel like I said, I need people that can pour into my life. Because I can't continuously be the one constantly pouring into other people and giving myself to everybody, and I never get anything in return. Now, I'm not saying I don't got good people that look out for me. I'm not saying none of that. But I'm just saying, like, at some point, you got to be like, yeah, look out for you.
What y'all looking at me for?
You just the host.
So,
Nah, as we
proceed.
I thought this was a great conversation going into Thanksgiving. We all know this is Thanksgiving week. And I don't know how y'all families do it, but like my family, prior to us eating, there's always a dissertation. And then we go around in a circle. We hated it as kids.
What y'all thankful for?
Yes, go say what you're thankful for. And of course, everybody always says family, food, job, and then my uncle caught on and he's like, all right, be descriptive on what you're thankful for. You know what I mean? So I was just thinking lately on how far I've come this year and then where my shortcomings were and things that I corrected versus things that I didn't correct, and what the growth spurt looks like. Was my growth stunted? So I'm just like, man, like, this year, what can I honestly say that I've been thankful for? So, but I had to evaluate like what my life looked like this year thus far. It's not over, but to this point, what it looked like. So I figured this conversation was real good as far as like a growth spurt. So what could you guys say ultimately you guys are thankful for this year as you reflect back on from January 1 until now? What are you most thankful for besides family? And like, be descriptive in it, like not surface, not the cliche answers that we normally give to people. Like if we walk out of here and you walk into a store and somebody says that, you go give them that same cliche answer. Like beyond that, like what could you genuinely say that you're actually thankful for?
Mine is me. And I say that like not in like a cocky, selfish type of, actually it's like a good selfish. 'Cause like I had to like completely, I call myself now my greatest investment. My biggest investment, my greatest investment, because it's like.
That's like a kind of like a bar, low key.
Yeah, it is.
You're welcome.
Hold on for a second. I like to say I'm my greatest investment.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that so when we get on the camera, I can kind of like snippet myself out saying it. So when Dre kind of like, it could look like I said it.
You done?
Just put that clip in there that I said it.
You done?
I'm my greatest investment.
You done?
I just want to get that little sound bite.
I said it first though, but anyway.
When we clip it up, it's gonna look like I said it though.
Okay. You can have it.
Okay.
No, I had to show up for
Instagram
myself in ways that I didn't know that I was capable of. Like I had to, like people, oh, you so strong, blah blah blah. But I had to really like kind of like tap into this strength that everybody always sees. Because at one point in time, like this year, I didn't see it, and like around this time, well, no, we got a little more than a month. It's coming up on like the worst I ever felt, like the lowest that I ever was at. So like now I'm not in that space anymore. Like I feel like I did a complete like turnaround. As far as just like loving me, investing in me, taking me serious, paying attention to things, doing what's necessary for the sake of me. So like now I can say, you know, almost a year later, I'm a much better version of me. So I'm most thankful for me.
That's good. We're going to start calling you 2.0.
Thank you. You're up, good sis. Why would you look around?
I forget
Who you was looking for?
I forget it was just us. I have to be grateful for, this might sound weird. Thankful for my downfalls. Because it's given me a mindset of wanting so much more in life. So I would have to say, like, my experiences and where I've came from and what I've seen working at pawn shops and, you know, growing up in areas where we grew up at, I've seen a lot of poverty, and it's put me in a mindset of I want more. Because sometimes, like, it's just, you ever sit back, like, I wonder why people just don't do more in their life or want more in their life. They just settle. And I've always been like a person where it's like I'm not cool with where we are, and we got to keep pushing. I'm thankful that I got that vision of wanting more, that vision of believing that we can accomplish more. So I would have to say that I'm thankful for the mindset that God's given me.
That's good stuff.
Outside of me, what about you?
What?
Outside of,
don't say
actually
you're
yours too. Outside of you all being thankful for me, which is the obvious.
Well,
You forgot to put it in there. Don't worry, we'll tweak it in.
well, you forget to put us in yours.
Correct.
Anywho, I said what I said.
For me, I'm gonna be honest. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'll probably know by Thursday. It's been something I've been thinking of, like, genuinely, what could I be thankful for? I don't want to be cliche. Like, of course, I'm thankful for my family, my kids, where I'm at, like, in life. But I'm searching. I'm on the search for what I'm deep down, like, thankful for this year. This has been a weird year for me in a lot of ways. So I've been trying to figure out what it is that I'm, like, genuinely thankful for. Not just saying it just to be saying it, because I could come up with a lot of things right now and make it sound real good, but I know for sure it would be a lie. So I don't know what I'm, like, deep down, like, thankful for. I love my, like, last week we did videos. I put out a video talking about, like, community and finding your community, your village. I am thankful for my village and the people that I do have around me.
That's us.
Yes, that includes you guys.
I said us.
But that personal thing, I'm honestly, man, I'm trying to find that joint. So I'll have it. I'm gonna have to throw it in the group chat this week, or I'll just call y'all when we get together later this week. I'll just have to tell y'all. But right now, I don't know.
Well, thank you
And
for being honest.
for anybody else out there who they have, if you don't know, just be honest with yourself. Some people you just don't know, and that's all right.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
This was a good topic. It was a good conversation.
Yeah. Any takeaways?
I don't have any takeaways. It was a good conversation.
Nope.
No. Hey, your growth is never predicated on anyone else. Like, your story, your process, your go through is yours and yours alone. It's something that you have to deal with. It's something that you have to wake up and go to sleep with, thinking about every single day. So make sure you handle your business accordingly. And but at the same time, don't go through life alone. Find your village. Lead the people with a tip. Give the people a tip.
You just asked us for a takeaway in a different
That
way.
was a takeaway. This is a tip. Give them a tip. We're going into Thanksgiving. Listen, there's a lot of people alone this week. There's a lot of people who are going through like anxiety. A lot of people suffering through loss, whether it be a recent loss or the anniversary of a loss of a loved one, a pet. I mean,
my tip would be to find the gratitude in that. Like, you may not have a big family to spend Thanksgiving with, or you may not have this, or you may not have that. But if you just solely focus on the stuff that you don't have, then you won't be able to appreciate the stuff that you do have. So maybe you don't have a big family. At least you're in your right mind to recognize that you don't have a big family. Some people don't even know what's going on. They think they're Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory because their mind is just out to lunch. But you're in your right mind, and you can realize stuff like that. So just practice gratitude and, just be thankful for the stuff that you do have. Even if you don't feel like it's much more than somebody else has.
I wasn't texting. I was Googling something that I wanted to say. I just couldn't find the
Better
proper
pronounce
word.
it right. What is it?
It was a law. It's a law. Like the law of polarity and law. I couldn't think of what it's called, but there's always two sides of everything. There's always a positive to match a negative. There's never anything in life that's only negative. Otherwise, there's the yin and the yang, the positive and the negative. Two sides of everything. You'll never see a one-sided loaf of bread. There's always two sides of that piece of bread. You'll never see a one side of a coin. There's two sides. I say all that to say, everything that's in your life that's negative, there is a positive. You have to find the positive of it. It could be a breakup. The positive of a breakup is you finding yourself, like Sayo. Like you said, you had that toxic breakup and you found yourself, your greatest investment. So I think that we need to take the negativity in our lives and figure out what is the positive side of it.
The hell wrong with you? You interrupting this man's great speech.
I didn't even interrupt it. I just
Carry on, Nicholas.
I'm done.
Take us out of here.
I thought I was getting busy.
Yeah.
no, you were. You were. That was this joker. Right
I didn't
here.
even do anything.
You see how they laugh at me? I don't even know why I'm on this podcast.
Hey, spend some time with some family and friends if you have them. If not, listen, find a village or just enjoy the Macy's Day Parade and make yourself a Thanksgiving dinner. And it don't have to be all of the normal fixings. It could be a pizza, Wendy's. Some people go to it can be. I mean, who's to say that you have to have traditional food for Thanksgiving? Most of it is bad for you anyway, so make sure y'all detox afterwards. Get a cleanse and cleanse your bowels. Get all, because a lot of y'all gonna be sluggish.
You better say something else.
What?
I don't know. I just heard something else when you said cleanse your, and then you went bowels.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Get a cleanse going. Get a workout in Friday or Saturday after Thanksgiving. Either way.
You should have blue after Thanksgiving.
Make it. Yes, you're right. Either way, happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving to you people. As always, play the moments, positive memories, stop the pain, and keep the happiness on repeat. Peace.
Hi. What's up?
BVU fam, we just wanted to take the time to thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of Blended Views Unfiltered.
Because we love y'all.
And we miss y'all too.
Thank you for your support.
And we want you to take time out of your busy day and go check out our TikTok, our Instagram, and our Facebook. And for those of you who are not listening or watching on YouTube, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe.
And we also got, listener letters. So if you guys ever have a question that you want us to address, if you ever just want to write in and say, you know what, Nick, your hair is always on point, or Big Mama is so funny, or Special K is so crazy, or that Dre always getting at the women.
Special K?
Special K is crazy. But you can write us at info@blendedviewsunfiltered.com. That is info@blendedviewsunfiltered.com.
And always remember,
Play the moments.
Positive memories.
Stop the page.
and keep the happiness on repeat. Peace.
Peace out.
Peace.